Hello everyone, how's it going? We will get started in a sec. Let me just take a sip of some water and we'll get going. Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today is early access for the new set, Magic the Gathering Cross Lord of the Rings. It's Universe Beyond, and thanks to Wizards, I have early access. I get to play the set before it releases, so we are going to be testing out a bunch of the new cards. So this set is non-standard legal, so on Arena it's legal in Alchemy and Historic, as well as Historic Brawl. We're going to be playing, the play queue is Alchemy, so we will be playing that format. Going to try to do some direct challenges later tonight to play either Historic Brawl or some Historic itself to demonstrate some of the cards there as well. So we are live on YouTube today, and we're going to be testing out a bunch of different decks. I have a Grixis Sorin the Dark Lord deck that's already been pre-recorded and will be up on YouTube very shortly. But we will be going through a 5-color Joda legendary, and I want to build around Aragon the Uniter. So 4-color, 4 color, 4 mana, 5/5. And whenever you cast a white spell, you get a human soldier. Whenever you cast a blue spell, you scry 2. Whenever you cast a red spell, you get to bolt an opponent's face. Whenever you cast a green spell, target creature gets +4/4. So playing a bunch of multicolor spells. Because we're multicolor, we get to kind of cascade with Joda and to cast some more free stuff. This says exile, you may cast, so it is a cast spell, so you get to trigger Aragon as well. We also got this delighted little halfling here, a 1 mana, 1/2, that can just tap to add a colorless, but also can tap to add mana of any color to cast legendary spells, and they can't be countered. So it helps us fix our mana and ramp. We have Frodo, Sorin's Bane, 1 mana, 1/2, that you can pay 2 mana, becomes a 2/3 with lifelink, and then for 3 mana, you get to make it have so basically if it deals damage and they've been tempted by the ring 4 times, which is kind of like a dungeon, they lose the game. So it's basically a 1 mana that I can upgrade into a 2/3 with lifelink if needed. Rona's in here to just help us filter our draws. We have a lot of legendaries, so discard. Denick, we have Malara to protect creatures. So if something dies, we can bring it back. And then we have Pippin, Guard of the Citadel, 2 mana, 2/2, Vigilance Ward, and then another target creature gains protection from the card type of your choice till end of turn. So this is kind of a different take on Skrelv. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. We have Glowin, Dwarf Emissary, 3 mana, 3/3. So everything in this deck's legendary. Except the delighted halfling. So this is whenever you cast a historic spell, which is a legendary, you get to create a treasure, and you can do it once per turn. Go doesn't really matter because we are one-on-one. It's more of a commander mechanic. We have Emar, Marshal of Ronin. 4 mana, 4/4 haste. Whenever 1 or more attacking legendary creatures you control die, and tap all creatures you control. After this, you get an additional combat step, so kind of alpha kill. We have Gandalf the White, basically 5 mana, 4/5 flash, and then you can cast legendary spells and artifacts as though they had flash, so we can flash in our stuff. And then if a legendary permanent or artifact entering the battlefield or leaving the battlefield to cause a triggered ability of a permanent, you get to trigger an additional time. So we get to trigger the cast trigger for Aragon and get 2 casts out of it. And then Aragon and Arwen Wed, 6 mana, 3/6 vigilance. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you get to put a counter on each creature you control, and you gain life. The mana base is clearly a well-oiled machine. I threw together a bunch of duels. Secluded Courtyard, we're mainly humans. Plaza Heroes for the legendaries. And then we also have some of the dual lands that we have with like a Gonjo and Otawara. So we'll give this a shot. We've already played, like I said, the Sorin deck. I have blue-white human tokens with the new legendary enchantment that gives like a buff, and then we'll play out a bunch of new decks today, try out a bunch of ideas. This set's actually quite hard to brew in, I've been finding. There's a lot of legendary creatures, so like my default's to just not say let's just build legendary tribal every time. In this case, playing Joda in a 5-color deck makes sense, but trying to avoid just, here's Esper Legends, add 2 cards or something like that. I did lose to an equipment deck from John Lex Games that was playing the new Samwise, I think, that auto equips, and then they had both the swords, so they had protection from my deck, which really hurt. Then I lost to CGB on a Esper kind of legendary aristocrat style brew that had Radadrabic and some of the new legends in there. The play queue does take a little bit of time, so I apologize. So we'll do this. Let me know if there's in the chat if there's any other decks or kind of cards you'd like to see. The new 6-mana Sorin was really good. I tried the 5-mana Sorin in the deck. It was... The ability is good. The deck that I put it in was not good. It ended up being that we didn't really have much to reanimate it. I put it into like a Grixis mid shell that was looking to kind of accelerate with Crucius into Sorin the Dark Lord. So here, I'm probably just going to... So I can name human. So if I name halfling citizen, it doesn't cast either of these anyways, so we're just going to go like this. I could just go halfling and then play this. Yeah, oh, sorry, it's Frodo, not a thing. So Frodo auto-equips, which is powerful. So target creature gains choice of first strike or vigilance. If that creature is equipped, it gains first strike and vigilance. Equip costs 1 less. So let's go first look at the new Aragon. Next turn, I can Malira. Can cast both and then give it pump effect too. Hit for 5. The lifelink on this will be good afterwards. Just giving it plus 4/4. Ceradoc or another creature 2 or less enters battlefield. Create a halfling. Tap 2 other halflings. Gets lifelink till end of turn. So no attacks from the opponent. So here, because I'm not gonna attack this turn, I don't think we want Smeargle. Creature died under your control this turn, the ring tempts you. Maybe we do. Let's try that out. It gives me the buff because it's green as well. This lets me set up the Seachrome Coast, because I'm not going to attack in. I mean, I could just boink them for 9. So all these multicolor spells plays really nice. Malira, we can choose another artifact or creature. When it's put in the graveyard, we return to the battlefield under our control. Yeah, so this is the spell we'll be playing next game. Okay, so Skrull for unblockable is going to be kind of annoying. So we'll probably... just soak up 4 damage here. So we'll just take this damage. or like take the effect. Smear Golem, make this a 6/6. You are Halfling. So let's name Halfling here. This will gain us life. Hey, Grim Joe. Yeah, unfortunately, the format for today is Alchemy. So we could only play what's in front of us. So I'm attacking with this because I want a creature to die under my control. So that way the ring tempts me. So the ring tempting is going to be a kind of like a dungeon style effect where we get some value. So we're going to double block there. So I think I want to deal... well, I messed that up. Not what I meant to do, but clicked through that a little too fast. So this is the first mode is the ring bearer can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. So let's do it here. Kind of go from there. Yeah, there's a few cards. Like this might see play in Hammer Time. There's the Samwise Baggins that combos with the Cauldron Familiar. Cyan, so early access is invite for content creators, so like YouTubers, Twitchers, that play. So it's usually done each set before the new set comes out, usually 2-3 days. It's to kind of demo the new set. Aragon's been pretty good. Okay, so we can Aragon the Aragon. This can make me another token. This can just attack in. I think we're just gonna Denick here. This lets me scry with the backside. Okay, we got Joda. I do want Joda. So we can poke in for 1 here. Again, I'm throwing these tokens away because I want the ring to tempt me. The next mode of the ring tempts. Draw a card, discard a card. So it gives us looting ability. And this also lets us ramp. So the ring bearer, I'm gonna do it here instead. The reason being is I want the mana from next turn. And now I can draw a card, so this gives me the Joda mana. So this actually plays pretty nice, these two, because you're milling your opponent. So Bilbo's, as long as it's equipped, creature has hexproof and can't be blocked. Whenever it attacks, you draw a card and lose a life. So this equipment is what bet me last time. But next turn with Joda should be enough to just alpha strike in. So this will trigger like every mode of Joda or Aragon, which is nice. All right, let's go. Spin to win, Joda time. So attack, 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 attack. Discard Aragon. We get the thing. And opponent is dead. So like, you could swarm the board. I'm wondering even like an Aragon Monastery Mentor spells deck, because you could just make a bunch of tokens. But that, and that's interesting. If you can, the mana is really bad though. Like the way we're able to achieve 4 color here is because we're playing like the ramp creature, and then in a spells deck, it's not going to be as good. We'll run each deck for about 30 to 45 minutes. See how they play out. So we got the halfling on one, which is good, so we'll keep. Because what I could do is Crucius, discard Aragon. You get the value there. I should have played Seacombe Coast, because if I draw another one, then it's pretty bad. Can I tap? Okay, so red, white, black. Okay, so I pretty much always get Joda. There's one instance where I can't. So we'll try it out and see how it goes. Antique Collector. I should have done Denick. It would have given me more power. Yeah, I missed out. Not 4 points or 2 points of damage. So I can do another Joda. We get some value off that, which is still pretty good. Hey, Tyler. Use spells that make treasure tokens. That's a good call. I'm going to take a look at that after. Because I want to do the Dimir draw 2 with the Orcish one that like pings and amasses. So Lord of the Rings is not standard legal. It is only Alchemy and Historic Brawl. So it won't change that set. Otherwise, Reprieve, the 2 mana kind of remand adjacent card, would be the one that would be closest to it. Boo, Denick into Denick. That's not what I wanted. I mean, I gotta block everything here. Literally, we hit the one of other version of the card. So not Aragon this time, but Joda kind of paying off. This looks to be like a food deck. Hey, Timrance. Well, they always have the summer set now. It's been 2 years now. So the design of these Universe Beyond are not real. They're they're more commander focused. So if you look at a lot of the mechanics, they're not really suited for traditional constructed. There's a lot of legendary stuff like that. It's very legendary focused. That's one like nuance when trying to build decks. It's a little tough. But it's the same with Baldur's Gate last year. It was non-standard. Orcish. Remind me once this game's done. I'll show the Orcish. The 2-mana flash when an opponent draws a second card per turn, they get pinged and you get to amass. Is something I would maybe try out. Okay, hand looks decent. Turn 3 Aragon. You are human. The fact that this is human too. Alright, we got a Golem. Give me a sec. We'll cover Golem in a sec. So when it leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. You can sacrifice another creature, return Golem from your graveyard to your hand. 40k or not, because it was commander only. This is like the first set that'll be modern. I think... No, Legacy was only the one. So Nazgul, enters battlefield, ring tempts you, put one... Okay, so it has unblockable. So let's decide how we want to play this turn. So I can go Crucius. And then I can go Halfling. You're not supposed to concede. I think they might be Legacy. Aren't commander cards legal in Legacy? Timorance, today, so the only queue is Alchemy Best of One. I'm going to arrange this evening when some of the other content creators are on to try to do some historic gameplay. The card that I was saying for the Rakdos deck that we were trying out, so I was trying out like a Grixis version. This card's pretty good as a top-end card. It might be too slow for historic, but Orcish Bowmasters. So think like if your opponent plays Teferi, they draw their second card per turn. You can flash it in, it gets to ping stuff, and then it makes you like progressively bigger. So you kind of play something like that. So we were trying it out with like Orcish Bowmaster and Fairy Mastermind to draw cards, along with Academy Lore Master. The only problem, like you start splitting the queue. So like we see that already with like the different queues. Like when I do like meta stats and stuff, sometimes it's hard to pull up everything. All right, the one Jame. Halfling. We got Joda that we can get out, so I think it's good. So turn 3 Joda. Maybe. Turn 4. Dorothea. So I can cast a second halfling, and then cast Joda. Looks to be on like spirits. Okay, so cast you. Mana's awful this game. But Joda next turn. Can hit another land, it's not too bad, but with NMR, I get to get potentially another combat. It's fun for like the when they do like special events and stuff. What do you do? Whenever it or another spell becomes target of spell, it phases out. Whenever or another spirit you control phases in, create a 1/1 spirit. Let's gain some life. It might have been right to go Pippin first. Just because Joda comes. But if I can attack next turn with this, it'll be good. So depending on how they play it out, I don't know how much removal they have. Dorothea, whenever this creature attacks, create a 4/4 spirit token. What you doing, James? What you saying? Hallowed Haunting. So that triggers. Interesting. So that phases out. Okay, so we got Pippin. And then I have access to Otawara. So I can bounce their thing. Almost lethal. Almost lethal. Joda's putting in the work. So they got a spirit here. See what they target. So I could Otawara a blocker out of the way as well. Which we might do. I want to see how they play this, if they attack in or anything. Okay, so their turn. Let's get rid of the 6/6 so they don't get the value. So get Frodo here. So this, let's do blue. I got a treasure here. I get another copy of Frodo. We were hoping to hit something bigger. So we gain a bunch of life here. And James has had enough. Assemble the Gatewatch, Lord of the Rings style. Yeah, control's an interesting kind of way to approach the meta. With like Atraxas going around, like you remove the element, like Planeswalkers are playable now. Like, I don't know how long you've been playing, but if you were around during the standard where it was blue-white control and the win condition was Elixir of Immortality, where you just keep shuffling 5 cards into your library over and over again, and you just wait for your opponent to mill. That was like crazy patience, or Nephalia Drown Yard mill your opponent out standard. That's when I played a lot of Standard. Things were quite slow back then to get games done. The old 1-0 win. I'll probably do one more of this, see how it plays out. Alright, John again. So John was on the equipment deck. We'll see if he's still on it or if he switched up. Okay, so no Lord on 1. I think we mulligan this hand. Okay, this hand's much better. I think I'm gonna put Pippin back. I could cast Rona off of the Plaza or off of this. Yeah, invoke even Bankbuster and Fable that you don't have to do like 3. Hey, we got Aragon. So we'll just pass turn. So Antiques Collector, when this creature dies, shuffle it into its library. If you do investigate, it can't be blocked with creatures with power 2 or less. So this might be a Legolas deck with like target effects. So I think we just pass the turn. I can flash in Gandalf here. So there's a lot of text. What do you do? Enters a battlefield, another non-token creature enters a battlefield under control. Look at the X cards, where X is mana value, reveal a card. Okay, so it's just like card advantage. See if we can find Joda. Okay, so we got Frodo. So that's +4/4. Because now we can kind of just always fake like we have something. I can also instant speed untap my Rona. And if they want to chump block, then I get them that way too. I actually get 2 pumps, so we might just do it anyways. Oh, actually, no, you don't. I guess it's permanent or artifact entering the battlefield. So this is a cast. It's not an ETB, so doesn't quite work the way we want. So I guess the question, do I want to loot here or just keep Frodo? Probably just keep Frodo. I can flash it in. Don't have access to black mana, but I can do it with the blue mana, or it's double white. That makes me 1 more token to go pretty wide on their board, because even if they just go Vorinclex here. Let's just pass. Okay, Crucius, I'll hit him for 3 in the face. Oh no, I don't have black mana. Oops. Well, that was a mistake a couple different ways. You don't produce black mana. Not the tightest right now. We're playing with new cards. This halfling's been really good. Like, going Abzan might be a really reasonable approach too. John's missing lands, which kind of hurts. What are they? They're doing something big. Let's Lightning Helix then. Alright. Legends deck popped off pretty well. Oh yeah. I got Mythic with Historic Crucius this month. Really like that deck. You should have been already. Like, that card's obscene. Alright. Give me a sec, we'll queue up next deck. Give me bad mana on my deck. Alrighty. Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're doing some more early access thanks to Wizards of the Coast. I get to play the new set, Lord of the Rings, Cross Magic the Gathering, Universes Combine. We are on a quest to find the One Ring. If you find the One Ring and want to mail it to me, I have a bounty of $7, cash, no refunds. But we will be playing, and we're trying a bunch of different decks. Because it's early access, the play queue is going to be Alchemy. We're going to try to do some Historic later today, as well as Historic Brawl. So this deck up today, we're on a live stream, so chat's popping off as well. But we are playing blue-white, mostly white, human tokens, legends kind of thing. So we have Flowering of the White Tree, 2 mana. It is a Anthem-style effect. Legendary creatures you control get +2/1 and have ward. Non-legendary creatures get +1/1. We're playing that with like Wedding Announcement, Invasion of Gobukan, lots of ways to put counters on things. We have Frodo, Sorin's Bane. Basically in this deck, it's a 1 mana, 1/2 legendary that we can play 2 mana into. It becomes a 2/3 lifelinker that if you keep getting buffs, it's just good to like in the race situation. Hopefully Initiate, Recruitment Officers as cheaper ones. Coppercoat Vanguard gives us a boost to the humans. We have Pippin, Guard of the Citadel, 2 mana, 2/2 Vigilance Ward, and we can give protection to another creature. So kind of like Skrelv, but let's just go offense, defense, and it plays into the human type. There's a sub-theme of draw 2 cards in this deck that I want to try out. So Prince Imrahil or the Fair. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you create a 1/1 human soldier. So playing this with Faramir, Prince of I can't even say half these words. So at the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of the player's next end step, you may draw a card if they didn't attack that turn. Otherwise, create a 3/1/1 soldiers. Oh, that doesn't really work the way I want. Whenever you draw your second card each turn. So I guess Wedding Announcement kind of pops it off, but seems kind of bad. Like this, beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you get to draw a card whenever the ring tempts you. We don't really have too much in terms of tempting. We have Boromir. Your opponent can't cast spells that they need to spend mana on. And we can sacrifice Boromir. Creatures gain indestructible. So I think I'm actually going to cut this and probably just try out... what makes tokens? So we can do Elish Norn. We can do Segovia. Oh, let's do an invasion of New Phyrexia. They make night tokens, but it kind of fits the theme. Let's try this out. Today's really trying out new stuff. We're not trying to like break the format, but just kind of get a feel. New Aragons felt pretty cool. We played it in a 5-color Joda list. The new Grixis Sorin feels pretty solid. The Orcish Bowmaster felt good, but not in the shell that I built it. Well, I don't know if I can like 100% guarantee I won't throw it into the volcano, but so another series that we have in this set is these legendary lands. So kind of awkward right now because like we need to draw an untapped land. So it enters tapped unless you control legendary creatures. So hopefully they don't kill my Pippin, and then that works. But it requires you to have it first. So I'm going to do this first. So this has double strike. Whenever a goblin or orc you control deals combat damage, exile the top card of your library. We got to play goblins after this. I forgot about this card. If they want to trade here, I'm fine. So I can go orcish here. I think I just want to get wedding announcements going early. The Ganjo's pretty solid too. I have access to so I can go a Ganjo. I can go second wedding announcement. Let's go this. They block here, I can Aganjo it. Interesting block there. So this gives protection. So we'll draw another card here. Not sure what's in their hand right now. Pretty high on curve, I guess. Okay, so we have Frodo. I honestly have no clue what's in their hand. They just have like shock. Big score. Amass was in as part of War of the Spark. So just like another wedding announcement here. Play out the land and then draw 2 cards. And now they're dead on board. Kind of drawn through most of the deck here. So Mount Doom is another of the legendary lands. This is where you throw the One Ring into. Enters the battlefield, deals X damage to each creature. Whenever one or more creatures dies. So we'll give protection from enchantments. Show them that we had Frodo. Yeah. That set had a huge impact on Standard. We were introduced to statics on Planeswalkers, kind of a game changer. 3 fairy caused nightmares to be had. Narset, just the glow, the whoa, 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 as you tried to draw your second card per turn. So there's like that goblin. I think that's the only new goblin. But like the goblins was already a deck. So it could be something to try out. We can run it as mono red still. And that might be the predecessor in Alchemy because they nerfed the hell out of a bunch of good cards in mono red, but leave Crucius behind. We could also play Rakdos and have it so everything is cheaper than the influx array, so we always tutor for the enchantment. That could be another cool one. Is it? So Joda, I think, is too slow for historic. We were playing in Alchemy today. In Alchemy, it felt really good. That one's felt probably the most consistent. The Grixis deck, I can build it to be like tier 1. Grixis is already tier 1 in Alchemy. But I wanted to try out some new cards. I think, honestly, if you just take the existing Grixis shell and put the Sorin Dark Lord at the top end, Sorin's really tough to deal with, and it like draws you cards and has a whole bunch of effects. That would be the most. Do I play much Modern or Pioneer? So for Modern, I had a 3/4 foiled out Birthing Pod deck, and then it got banned. And then I picked up Grixis Delver with Treasure Cruise, and then that got banned. And then I kind of phased out of playing Paper Modern because I got burned too many times. Pioneer, I have most of the Rakdos deck built, and I have Gruul Boat. But I do most of my play online at this point. We'll keep this hand. You are soldiers, thankfully. So we do that. What set did I start playing? So in terms of like actually buying cards was New Phyrexia. I was playing my friend's basically been playing since Magic came out and has had a cube. So I learned from playing cube. So that was the way I kind of learned. But New Phyrexia is the first like physical cards I got. The first time I played Constructed was Innistrad RTR Standard, which also is like my favorite like set. So I think we got the announcement going. It plays nicely with the flowering. I can do both next turn. From testing so far, Joda felt pretty powerful, as well as the Sorin. I want to try out another build of Orcish Broodmaster. I think the Goblins deck can be pretty solid too, but that's something I'm going to try out now. Okay, so I can do this. Do this. Playing Ali Eldrazi here, so probably on some Esper nonsense. Some big mana. Draw a card here. So this will pop off next turn. Yeah, like if I could honestly meet up with the same group of guys every weekend, I learned to play and just play Cube, I would. Same, like, for a while I was playing a lot of EDH, but I was playing every week with the same play group, and we are always... I think the big thing is finding, like, a group that's similar play level. So we weren't necessarily CEDH, but I'd probably say 8 to 9 on the scale, just to kind of play at that. I'm going to hold this back in case they are on Divine Purge. If they're on Divine Purge, I'm getting pretty wrecked anyways. I think we just pass. What do you do? Choose an opponent, they look at the top 4 cards of your library and separate them to 2 face down piles, face up, put one in their hand, the other ring tempts you. So you can have the One Ring. They're not going to have time to cast both the 4-drops. Like I had Artifact Storm. Nick Bostrom, thanks for the follow. With, what was the 4-color Brea? That one they let me play like twice because it was super consistent. I had Tassiker when it was like the Tooth and Nail, Palicron, Infinite Mana, Wing version. So we played pretty like, not like full CDH, but pretty spiky. This emblem's been pretty good. This card's not bad either. Okay. The ring is going to tempt us. When you cast it, you gain protection from everything until the end of next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each bird encounter on it. Beginning of your upkeep, you lose, put a bird encounter, draw a card. Okay, so we actually get nothing. So he's going to get another turn. Kind of annoying. So they get protection from everything. Protection protects our stuff. Counter target spell. So we're probably just playing this out and saying go. Hey Jake, thanks. Turns out just playing very linear often helps. Who are some of the current best Magic players? Nathan Stoyer, Reed Duke, pretty much like the Pro Tour folks. It really depends. Like if you're playing competitive, like there's a different crowd. Oh, get countered! Like there's a different crowd for like different formats. Some are better at drafting. Then you have like the streamer ones that do very well as well. But like Stoyer's won the last 2 events, I think. Been really good. So here I have like protection up. Things have ward. I have indestructible. They have the mana for Wandering Emperor, but I can play at least 1 ward effect. And then I can give protection from Planeswalkers. Okay, so you got Gandalf. What's Gandalf here for? So it really depends. Are you looking for constructed? What formats are you looking for? Are you looking at draft? Like it varies kind of what you want to learn. So like for historic, I usually watch Mistman. I watch the Nerdy Steve. Very good at historic. If it's standard, I usually, and it depends on the type of game. So like CGB, I like Ali Eldrazi for like big mana decks. I'm doing control, Sonio. So it kind of varies like from format to format. So probably try this out. A little bit awkward here. Can't do that, but I can emblem. We'll lead on this because this has a little bit more upside. Like if you're doing historic, also Alth is very good. Alth always gets like #1 mythic. So it's really dependent. Like if you're familiar with MTGA Zone, then you know Alth. Italian streamer Delmo I watch a bit. but I kind of understand Italian, so... Well, we've drawn more flowerings than we have land, which doesn't help the case. This is probably blue-white Jada, maybe? So, like, this is really strong. Okay, so I have two options here. I can do this. That increases its base power. And then it lets me trigger there. I can start gaining life. And then I can play a second Hopeful Initiate, or I can Adeline. I don't get to prop this turn. I think I like doing this. Because if they want to trade here, they lose their board. And then Adeline next turn lets me create another body. I don't know, like, what's this deck trying to do? Incidental Ward really plays well. Okay, Valor Stance. So they can multi-block, but like Frodo's put in a lot of work here. Now my tokens are 2/2s. Like, this is probably ultimately better in like Esper Legends, because we're seeing a little bit of the downside of drawing multiple copies. But like Smashing Face, nonetheless, this Anthem's very powerful. Like, you could probably get away with just going mono white, but I wanted to try out some of these new lords, or like these new cards. Oh, look at that beaut, Malone. Alright. So... start on... let's go Beachhead. Then I can go... one drop, one drop. And then I can go Gabagoo. So they get tempted by the ring. So I can't block. But now I get to go Gabagoo. Okay, Call of the Ring. At the beginning of the upkeep, the ring tempts you. Whenever you choose a creature as a ring bearer, you may pay 2 life. You do draw a card. Or Invoke Despairs. We're going to have to take the Invoke Despair. Okay, so we flip Gabagoo. These get bigger. Next turn I have these 2 invasions. Probably just gonna do this. I'm gonna lose the enchantment anyways. So let's just do this now. So they pay 2 life, they draw a card. So that gets bigger when the ring tempts you. So it might have been wrong. I guess the goal is to try to like play around it. Beginner M step, if creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, you may choose. Okay, this doesn't quite do that. So could do that. They take the trade. Honestly, it's probably just all-out attack at this point. I'm not going to win through multiple Invoke Despairs. Okay, are any of you soldiers? You're a soldier, you're a soldier. Okay, Beachhead. Beachhead's got text. Okay, so they are at full temptation. Oh, that's actually pretty solid. No, I'm 1 damage off. Okay, but the thing is, the ring can't tempt them. They can't get tempted by the ring anymore, because they will lose. But I'm probably dead. We needed 1 more damage. I guess Invasion's fine. Just drawing into a bunch of these Nazguls. Pretty rough. Like Invoke Despair kind of got us. I don't miss that card. Stop it! That's a pretty good engine. Because they trade up. Like the Invoke Despair... I mean, like, you throw in a bunch of Invoke Despairs and it makes anything work. Alright, you got me. 1 point off. We had to kind of go Alpha Strike that turn. The Death Touch is what kind of did us in. We were putting on some good pressure, but it doesn't matter how big, like, we got our stuff power-wise, they still had... We needed, like, a Wedding Announcement or an Adeline, just something that created, like, multiple bodies. Us trading 1 for 1 when they have Invoke Despair is kind of rough. Seeing what it ended up doing, it might have been right to do the Ring Tempts You, but then that would have been the 3rd Invoke Despair they hit us with. So, you're only going to win through so many Invokes. Cards banned in Standard for a reason. Because our Anthem was gone, everything was gone. Everything we loved was gone. We'll give this 1 more. See how it goes. We'll probably brew next, so let me know in the chat what you want to see. We can try like the Ring Tempts You. We can try... I was going to try Blue-White Flash, maybe, or like Demir Orcus, Orc Master, whatever it's called. Orcish Bowmaster. I think that deck's kind of cool. I don't think the food decks are very good. Like, it's just kind of weird synergy. It's not doing too much. We could try... Actually, we might be able to try like the spells deck with what's its name? The one that makes the tokens. So Seachrome Coast. Forget its name. Not Soulfire Grandmaster, the other one. That's actually a great draw. Lets me curve out. Hey, Wild Nerd. The new one is very good. The new Jork. I was playing it in 5-color Joda, but we'll probably look at another like Abzan version. We were doing it with 4-color Aragon. It fixes the mana really nice, especially just going turn 2 Crucius. Okay, so they're on the Bowmaster, they're on Orcish Marauders, they have cut downs, so they're going full Orcs. So I think the way my hand's set up, I'm going to take the cut down. And I'm gonna... So this is interesting. So I know they have the Bowmaster. Do I want to trade the Bowmaster? Probably not. Yeah. Sam's really could do the combo in Historic as well. You have Altar of Dementia. You can do Woe Strider. So you have that ability. What happened there? They used the cut down. So we'll go Deserted Beach. What did they... How did they kill that? Oh, this pings. Duh. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I lost this one. That's on me. I wasn't paying attention. If you're playing it in Modern, isn't... what's the Bant Mana Dork? Isn't that just strictly better? Since you can tap for, like, non-creature spells, too? Yeah, when I originally built the draft of the deck, I forgot that Ashnod's was in there. This deck looks pretty good. Draws a lot of cards, which is what you want. That's true, the Hobbit makes it uncounterable. So if they have Counterspell, Force Negation, whatever. Yeah, you got me. I messed that up. Turn 2 Geist of Saint Track. Those were the days. Okay, whatever. Just good game. I wasn't paying attention on this one. Look how they nerfed my boy. We'll try this out after. This looked pretty solid. What do? Enters the battlefield, the mass orcs. When you do, until in turn, gain control, target knowledge, permanent commercial, and tap it. So it's like, Omen Hawker's cool. Seems like super fragile in Historic though, where like every deck's a Fatal Push deck. Alright, this deck was overall pretty solid. We obviously punted that last game. And kind of got beat up by some Invoke Despairs, but probably could just keep it mono white. Alright, so... we could do the Orcs. We can do... blue black draw. We can do... No. What happened? Can do Abzan Legends. Can do... Let me know in chat what you want to see. Token. So if I do this, because with Aragon, it's a little too rough on the mana. That's the only thing. Because I was thinking of that, but then you end up like really tough with the mana. There's... Because like you have... I want to play Reprieve. Or... Return spell. So like this is kind of like Remand, so I wanted to try this out. So like you could do it in a Mentor deck, but it's a little tough. So we can do this. We can try the Orc deck. We can do Abzan Legends. Kind of want to try, so Orc. Why can't I type today? Where are you? So do that. Do Shieldred. Is there no Shieldred here? So do that, do Shieldred. Do Mastermind. What else do we have at Flash Speed? Could do Spectral Adversary. I'm just seeing like cards to consider. Because the problem is like you can't consistently let them draw cards with this. So like you have Mastermind to get you ahead, but it's not great. We also have the Cyber Siphoner. So you can just play like a tempo game. Actually, let's do Wizards. I want to try that out. So there's like the Gandalf Wizard. So whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen. You may tap and tap target permanent. Deals 3 damage to each opponent. Copy instants. You may choose new targets. Put it on top of your library. There's also this that lets you draw 2, destroy an artifact, or deal 5. So then I think we play Chandra. And then what wizards do we have? Because you get to choose more than one mode with this. So what do you do again? Instant or sorcery. You get to conjure. I guess you're a wizard. You're a wizard as well, and you can recast cheap stuff. So then just play a bunch of cheap spells in there. Play a couple Liers. Gets you that value. You're a cheap wizard, Vindictive Flame Speaker. There's Geist Snare. So, like, it depends on how aggro we want to go. We can play like a burn version of the deck. We have Electrostatic. So maybe we do that, because then you can flash back stuff. We can play a couple copies of Balmor. We can play Electrostatic, and we can play Vindictive Flame Speaker. That kind of gives us a bunch of cheap ones. So you're a wizard as well with Delver, but Delver's gonna... Let's see how many spells we have. I think I don't want Delver. We can play the Flame Speaker. Is Kaza Royal? No. That's not in. Electromancer's not in the set. Yeah, we were doing that in the Grixis deck. The Bowmaster thing. Could... So, like, there's Electrostatic. There's Play with Fire. We probably don't want Chandra in this one. Keep the curve lower. Play with Fire. There's Lightning Strike. There's Swift Spear. So this is a 3-drop here. We can do that. We can do... Instead of that, we can do Reckless Impulse. That gives a card advantage, which then gives us more value. So maybe we do that. Because we have that. So then, like, Reckless Impulse or Ren's Resolve. Trying to think, like, how we build this. Because you have this as your top end threat. The problem is, like, it's a 5-mana. I don't like this deck. Just seems like we're playing a bad. Let's do the Dimir Orcish. Orc. Bow. We have Bow. We have Mastermind. Sheoldred. We can do that. We have Sheoldred. Make disappear. Forget what it's called. So Discover the Formula doesn't exactly... But I want instant speed stuff as much as possible. So like Discover's pretty good at just letting us hit our lands. So then we can do Go for the Throat. Some copies of Cut Down. So what else do we want? What's like flash threats? Not in this format. Target player draws. So we can do Overflowing Insight as a combo. Target player draws X card and loses X, where X is the number of cards in your library. We have Fell Stinger. I guess we can get them to draw 2. They lose 2 life, and with Shieldred, there's also just like this. Training Grounds is also a card. So whenever this creature transforms, target reveals, if they do, that player discards a card and then draws a card. But you can only activate this at sorcery. So maybe we try this. Because there's like Painful Bond, but Painful Bond, we draw the card. You can do this. Whenever you draw your second card each turn. Probably play some Saibas. Probably want another copy of this. So we do have like Mind Splice, which can reduce the cost, and we could try to combo kill them with like the draw 7 to ping them, which is kind of cool. Invasion of Innistrad is actually kind of cool too. Because we have, like, everything in our deck at this point can be played at instant speed other than Shieldred. You're not legendary. So we also have, like, Urtai. Urtai's kind of cool because it causes them to draw their second card as well, which gives us that trigger. Okay, so then I think we just rounded up. What other counter target? Because we have this as card draw. I don't think we want Disdainful Stroke. Maybe we want Fading Hope. Can do Absorb Energy. Could do Devious Cover Up. Tasha's also cool. But Tasha, like, I want to limit the amount of things we're tapping out for. What are the good Dimir cards? Just trying to see. Like, I could play a single copy of Siphon. Katos is an instant speed. Honestly, it's probably just another Urtai. To do another Urtai, you have this as kind of your package. We can do Lore Speaker. Let's get all my lines that I need. So we have Underground River, we have you. Get Xander's Lounge, and let's try a couple copies of Lore Speaker. Probably just go up one of you and then destroy. I guess we could go Bankbuster, but I kind of don't want to play Bankbuster. Are you talking about like this Kaido, the 4-mana Kaido? Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to player, you may return it to its owner's hand. If you do, you may activate loyalty abilities of Kaido twice. I got a lot of 4s, so that's my only concern. Could do just like Infernal Grasp. Or Sap Vitality. Undercity Plunder. Oh, we have Shelly's Edict, which isn't too bad. There's like Nashmi, which you could kind of ninja in. Let's just play Edict probably. We're already going to potentially be taking damage. Actually. There's like go wide stuff, so I prefer targeted removal over Edict. There's not really Planeswalkers being played. Trespasser's not bad because we are taking quite a bit of damage. And then we could control day-night cycle. Takanuma. We want Otawara. Like, this will often come into play tapped, but I think it's fine. And then I want... forget what its name is. The colorless one. Forsaken Crossroads. Probably do 4 of these, 2 of these. All right, let's just get some. Let's let them know that we are a lore master enthusiast. Suck. Because with Saiba we can get the value. Innistrad's also a nice mana sink. There was that the Ring Tempts You card that Ali played against us. I like Discover the Formula because it'll get like cheaper for our stuff. Let me see what that one's all about. Sorry, we try to build some in advance, but some of it here is... Okay, so the Ring Tempts You. You do draw a card. Could just be like Call of the Ring. So the one he played against us was choose an opponent, they look at the top 4 cards, so your library, separate into other into your graveyard, the Ring Tempts You. Let's try that out instead of Trespasser. Because then that fills Saiba as well. Maybe we trim on that, go up a Saiba, up a this. Alright. Spending Wizards money. So this is Orc. Ouch. Let's go Orc ouch. Just take a sip and we'll jump in. Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are streaming live for the early access event for Lord of the Rings / Magic the Gathering. Thanks to the folks at Wizards. I have early access so I get to play the set a couple days before it comes out to the general public. This is a streamer event, so we're playing against other content creators. Format is Alchemy Best of 1. We'll try to get some historic direct challenges later today. So we're trying out a couple new cards, and the card we want to kind of play around today is Orcish Bowmaster. So 2 mana, 1/1 flash enters the battlefield, or whenever an opponent draws a card except for the first one they drew in each of their draw steps, we get to deal damage to any target, plus we get to amass 1. So first amass, you get a zombie token that becomes a 1/1, and then each time you amass, you put more counters on it. So it's kind of cool that way there. So we're kind of playing a why you hurting yourself opponent kind of game. So we're going to give them card draw with Fairy Mastermind, which also then hurts them with Sheoldred. We have Blood Pact that we can target the opponent, so they lose 2 life potentially from the spell, 4 life from Sheoldred, and then 2 additional life from the Orcish Bowmaster. So kind of a gotcha game there. We have Academy Lore Master, which at the beginning of each player's step, they can draw an additional card. If they do, then they get taxed and they can't pay, or they have to pay 2 more mana for each spell. But most of the cards in our deck have flash, so we don't care. We get to get an extra draw and then kind of force the opponent. We have Urtai Resurrected, where we could counter or kill something on opponent's turn and then trigger the second draw. Invasion of Innistrad, just kind of a flash removal spell that we can attack into. Saiba Siphoner as a way to get back our instants and sorceries. And then we have Sorin's Ransom. So basically kind of like a Fact or Fiction style effect that gets the ring will tempt you. So it's kind of like a dungeon that we go through each mode. We get to designate a ring bearer, and then they get abilities as you go through, as you can see on the screen. Bit of removal, cut down, go for the throat, make disappear, kind of mixed into that. We have one of the new legendary batters lands. So enters tapped unless you control a legendary creature. 1 mana, and then you can also pay 2 to scry. You can only activate it if you control a legendary creature. So only works if we have these out, but I want to give it a shot, see if it works. We might not have the density needed to actually play it. I'm a little like unimpressed by them, let's say. Just it's enough that they come into play tap. The fact that like 2 mana to scry, if you're doing that every turn, it's not a huge like benefit. The fact you also have to have a legendary just seems to like add extra hoops to jump through in a way. But we will give it a go, see how it plays out. We'll try out a couple different decks. Standout cards, so we've done 5-color Jodo with 4-color Aragon. We've done mostly white blue token humans with the new 2 mana like Anthem. We did, what did we do? We did Grixis with Sauron, kind of mixed into there. So we'll try out a couple different decks. Largely, like it's been a tough format to kind of brew in. There's a lot of legendaries, which makes it a little bit convoluted. But we will hopefully jump in soon. Apologies, this is early access, so it's not the normal queue. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer to find an opponent, but hopefully we aren't too long in. Couple cards to stand out. Like I tried the Orcish Bowmaster, where we're playing like kind of this package in the Grixis deck, kind of the existing Alchemy Grixis shell. It wasn't like elements of it were good. That's why we're trying a dedicated deck. Yeah, I'm going to try the white remand. Just because we just played blue-white right now, I don't want to play the same kind of color pair back to back, but I think the remand could be good. We can try tokens with it. We can try like black-white maybe. See what works best there. Could go even like Esper Legends with remand in there, since it can be used in like the make disappear spot. Alright. See if Malone's still on mono black like when we played him before. And looks good keep. So we'll probably name black to start. Okay, well, half the combo's there. So this is nice. We can be proactive, reactive. Okay, so for our deck, that's actually fine. Because them drawing cards is beneficial to us. I'm doing this because I want to have the Amass token because it plays nicely with Make Disappear. You want to pay 2 life? Okay, so I think that's fine because I can go for the throw at it after. Because the attack conditions on this is they have to draw a card. Okay, so I couldn't force them to draw a card. I think we're just doing this. Seeing what they do. So if this attacks, draw a card and then discard a card. So they will take damage. And then I do get the Amass trigger. So he was playing Invoke Despair in his list. Vans! Thank you for the subscription, or the membership. Much appreciated. So I'm letting him do all this. Okay, so let's just ping face here. So we can cut down this Nazgul. Very, very much appreciated. So we just go for the throat here. Attack in. Do our thing. Go. I dare you to draw cards. Was there any deck, any card you wanted to see featured? We can build a deck after this run. Whenever one or more creatures deal combat damage to you, each opponent sacrifices a creature that dealt damage to you this turn. The ring tempts you. Discard a card, gains indestructible. We're gonna kill him with Blood Pack upkeep. So they would take 2, 2, 2. So I want to see if they take the damage. So we'll set an end step. We're going to kill him with Blood Pack. So we'll kill Nazgul here. Do it. Take the damage. Take the damage! Draw cards. Draw them! It's Lightning Helix! Wild Nerd, good call on the targeted one. Okay, this feels kind of cool. I'm liking what's happening. Sorry, let me get this next one going, queue up. But yeah, Vans, let me know if there's any cards, decks, ideas, anything you'd like, and we can set up the next game. I'm going to try to do some historic content with folks this afternoon, or this evening. Like after dinner, try to pair up with some other content creators. I think we mulligan. Like, we can't play spells on curve here. So I think we keep this. Gonna do it like that. Might be wrong. So we'll do this. So I think we do this. I could be exposing myself to like Crucius. I'm getting the play blood type. So we're playing Orc Master in here. We got some cards that don't see much play. Maybe not necessarily new, but not a lot of play. Okay, so they are going to be on... Ooh, we got to play Anvil with the new bat. That's what we got up to. Okay, we'll do Rakdos Sacrifice with the new bat. The thing, you can't just jam like 20 cards. We're playing a new strategy built around like predominant card. Like, you're still gonna play your mana, you're still gonna play... Okay, so... I think we gotta just do Bait Shieldred here. Would have loved to sneak this down under a Deadly Dispute. We played like 5-color Joda with like the new Aragon. We've played like a bunch of new stuff.
Something suspicious is going on. And for one, off you go.
Get rid of this. So they're Orcish. Ping's my Orcish. So they're just playing like... Okay, so we can Fact to Fiction on their turn. So nice thing here. I'm gonna do the Ring Tempts Me so I get the ability. Also see what we get from this. I'm gonna kill Crucius. Like if... Okay, so Fairy Mastermind or Dark Slick. I think we're gonna choose pile 2, which is just lands. So we'll attack Lily here. Okay, they let Lily go.
This isn't how things were supposed to go.
So we'll pass the turn here. I'm gonna set a towards end step trigger. So they don't have removal just yet, but this could be like another Liliana. Okay, so they're just playing the same old deck. Nothing really new. Just Bowmasters in there. So we'll kill Crucius here. Another Bowmaster would be good. A counterspell like Make Disappear would be good. Hey, asking you will receive. So they're gonna cycle this. Yeah, we'll build this after the Rakdos Anvil deck. So if they have Invoke... Get out of here! Let's go black here. I mean, we're probably dead to... I could have killed that, but like they might have another Invoke, so I want to have access. Okay, so we'll do this now. Get him! Get him! It's Lightning Helix! Okay, this shit's cool. I mean, I don't think anyone's played Blood Pack in Constructed. If you're winning with that, this deck's actually kind of cool. Like, you got your tempo elements. I think we trimmed the Saibas. They weren't that great. Like, our deck's kind of clunky otherwise. Actually, I want to try. I'm going to trim a Saiba, go up another Factor Fiction. I like the... Or we'll try the Ring Tempts You. Trim one of you. I'm going to get rid of this. Ring Tempt. Call of the Ring. Let's play a couple of those. It's basically like Super Lightning Bolt. It was like extra good because it was on the stack. I kind of want to do this in Historic with Howling Mine. Because Underworld Dreams is no longer in the format. Play Orcish, play Howling Mine, play Sheoldred. Just play like really bad cards. And then you can pretty much play any deck just with like bad cards and add in Sheoldred. keep this. We have counter and removal. So blue, and we'll scry. Keep the lands. So I think I want to have access to both of these. The way our hand's shaping up, probably black still. Instantly punished by drawing Takenuma. Kind of don't want him to have this. So we'll do this. They can cycle here. Because either this is going to take their whole turn. Okay. So we'll pass the turn here. I think it's worth countering that. We give him a card draw. But, because like Fable being 2 spells that we need to deal with, I think we counter with Casualty. Like, we're a little soft to Invoke Despair here, but so I can cast this and go full control to get a card back. So go full control, cast this, cast this. Get Make Disappear back. Could have been right to get Sorin's Resolve, but because then I can get instants and sorceries to hand. Shelly or Xander? I think we do this. Okay. Let you be the ring bearer. Hey, Bowmaster. Not bad. So they have Mount Doom, so they can start pinging me. Okay, so we see Sokuzan. Does this deal each opponent? So we'll kill this. Kill that. You're not supposed to concede. Felt pretty good. Felt pretty good. So we'll do like one more with this, see how the games go, and then we will, if Vance is still around, we will build the Bat Sacrifice. Yeah, this looks good. Playing CGB. Could be blue-white control. I think we try to get this down. We're just gonna get reprieved to death now. Alright, cool. Yeah, we'll build it after this game. Land? Nah. Is this an artifact or an enchantment? Beginning your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden. Put a burden counter, draw a card. Way too many bad spells. We just didn't hit lands. I'll have Oracle here. Assuming at this point they have counters for everything. Okay. Ping face. Soul Partition. Sure. So we chose this just because if they have removal. Okay, they have Kalim. So that does shut us off, but we're going to take 2 damage here. Oh man, we just cannot draw lands for the life of us. Guess get this down. Can't really do much if we don't have lands. 13 cards, 2 lands. We are on Bloodpack Tron. This one's unfortunate. Like, we draw a card, we're doing okay, but... Okay, so... just pass the turn here, I guess. I mean, if we can get Orcish, like this is the matchup where Orcish is going to be very good. But obviously we just have not done much of anything. Okay, so... let's probably just make disappear. Let's see if I can catch them. Yeah, this would have been such a good matchup to actually, like, play. But if you miss like 4 turns against control, you're not going to do anything. We let them get set up. They set up their like scry. We set up their One Ring. Yeah. You know, when they're discarding removal, you're probably in a bad spot. There. I know you love cards. Take cards. We can't even mill them because Oracle's put so many cards in. Okay, you got it. That one was a shitty way to go. Alright. So I'm going to wrap this one up. This deck felt really good. Obviously that last game was kind of oops, but can't do much when you don't draw lands. So Anvil, Bat, what's its name? It's Alchemy. So Blood, not collected. So you have Sanguine, you have Blood Tithe Harvester, you have Voldaren Aperture. So whenever you create a or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. What we do want is some copies of Crucius. We want Deadly Dispute. We probably want Voltage Surge. We could go Omnixless. So in this version here, I'm just gonna play up to the Bat, so we always find the Bat. Have access to Dispute. Have that. Depends on how much removal we want to run. We could go Fable the Mirror Breaker and make copies. And then play Treasure. Play 22 lines. So just kind of go with this shell. You have the Bat, which is kind of your payoff card. Play it in that shell. Crucius helps you find them. And then you gotta make tokens that way. Because this is just life loss. The Orcish isn't like the best. You could go Xander's Wake, which provides you some value as well. You can go Tome, but I think we try it like this. Is there any other cards, Vans, you wanted in here? Okay, copy of Mount Doom, just for extra ping. Sulphur Springs. Let's go Takanuma. Sokenzen. I think that's all the lands. Run it like that. Bat art upgraded. Brushstroke upgraded. So like now every blood token deals pings of damage. Like the Crucius treasure. 4 mana ob or 3 mana ob? Which version? Because I don't think we want the 4 mana competing with like the bat. It makes it a little tough on the mana to be able to do it all. Fable's like good because you get that. Let's try it like this. See how it plays out. And then, because like I wouldn't mind Obnixis the adversary. 22 lands. I think we're okay. Like we got cheap stuff to start. And then once we get the ball moving. Alright, we got Bat Sack. Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are streaming part of the early access event for Lord of the Rings X Magic, the crossover universe unbound, combined, whatever it's called. The mashup series. We had Dungeons & Dragons last year, Lord of the Rings this year. So I'm part of the early access stream thanks to Wizards. Get to try out the cards before they get released in the next couple days. We've been playing Brews all day. And what we're going to be playing today is a kind of an addition to the Anvil deck, but we got Mirkwood Bats, a 4 mana 2/3 flyer. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. The way this is worded is really cool because it plays on all the elements of the deck. You're creating tokens, treasure tokens, creature tokens, and then you're sacrificing them. You're creating blood tokens. There's a whole bunch of synergy that kind of plays into this deck. So we're going to try it out and see how it goes. The way we are kind of building it is you have Anvil that you want to sacrifice artifacts, and then you get tokens, and you can kind of drain your opponent that way. You make blood tokens with Bloodtithe Harvester or Voldaren Epicure. You can make treasure tokens with Shambling Ghast, Deadly Dispute. To kind of get those, this is Alchemy, by the way, so these cards are still around because they were in the Baldur's Gate set. You have Sanguine Brushstroke, which lets you create a Blood Artist and blood tokens, and when your blood tokens die, you get to drain them again. Fable the Mirror Breaker makes you a creature token, treasure token, and then gets you a whole bunch of values and voltage surges in there. Crucius lets you discard cards. So if you discard a 3-drop, you always find the bat, and then it helps you ramp into it, and it creates treasure tokens. So again, just more synergy all playing into that effect. We are playing one of the new Mount Dooms that we get to ping each opponent. So just another way to get some additional reach kind of mixed into there. The one card we're going to see, we're going to try this out, but playing some copies of Obnixis the Adversary could be correct as well. But we do have a number of 3-drops in there already. So we don't want to go too heavy on the 3-drops. So we'll give this a go. We are playing against other streamers today, so it is kind of testing out the new cards. We aren't trying to necessarily break the format. We're trying to try out some of the new cards and doing a mix of like dedicated build-arounds or cards adding to existing kind of archetypes or strategies. So we are going to be trying this one out. We've done 5-color Joda with 4-color Aragon. We've done Orcish Bowmaster in a Demir kind of draw 2 kind of shell. We've done Grixis Sorin, which is pretty sweet. Blue-white soldiers. And it's fine. I mean, this combo was good enough for standard for how long? What are you on, Delmo? Okay, Gabagoose. So we'll hold off here. We can just Deadly Dispute here. So we'll get another treasure here. Prevent them from getting the ring will tempt you. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we got the bat. Bat's a 2-3 or a 3-2? 2-3. And we got Crucius. So I think we just get the bat going. So we got to ping him like this, ping him like this, ping him like that, and get all that value. So they can enlist here and then make a copy of the Battlecry's Goblin. That's fine. We'll gladly trade here. So I have access to... So I'm going to go Crucius here. Going to discard Fable, and I'm going to go get another bat. Because now I can sacrifice this treasure if I want. So we'll just kill this goblin. Then I can go bat here. And we can kind of just drain them out. Because I go bat, make a treasure. Oh, and we got anvil too. So we'll go greater here. Okay, so that's 2. So if I sack, I'm 1 short of just combo killing him here. Alright. You get me with 1 attack. So we do this. Do this. Da 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 da. So many drains! We missed a couple line drops, which does suck. Got us on that other game against CGB, but plays pretty sweet too. The big thing with Bat too is it gets around Divine Purge. Usually this deck gets absolutely shelled by Divine Purge. But the fact you kind of ping on the treasure coming in and ping on the treasure coming out seems pretty solid. Alright. See what we can do. Hey Tyler, how's it going? So we're just giving it a shot. The Bloodcaster is interesting. I don't want another Pain line because it doesn't produce any colored mana and it prevents us from casting Anvil on 2. But this is the best start you can have with this deck. The Voldaren might be interesting. You'd have to kind of trim on Fable. Just kind of hold it back here. Okay, that was really good. So I'm gonna have that die. Just comes back. So we'll go get the bat here, and then our cycle. Yeah, the Vamps are making a comeback. So I can do this, which I think I like. And then no attacks. End step. I wanted to hit lines here. I want to be able to brush stroke. So Delmo could pop off pretty well here, but yeah, there's a couple different versions of the bat. Okay, so let's go. Brush stroke here. I can play out Blood Tithe. That gets me the drains there. And now any creature dying gets me value. So like even though the setup was pretty good, I also have Voltage Surge which gets them. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out dinner so I can stay online. Ember Haller's a little annoying, so it can target my Blood Artist. We played one of Flash Gandalf in the 5-color Joda deck as a way to get some value. So we'll kill this. Give me 1 sec. Then they come with pack tactics. So everything's got double strike here, so just throw a bunch of blockers in the way. We get the sack. Aragorn. I watched the movies growing up. It's been a while since I'm gonna try like blue-white flash later. I just didn't want to do it because I had finished just with blue-white. What I wanted to do, and we'll give a sec so we don't run into Delmo again. Pets. I wanted to put one of the tree folk. We got a couple avatars too. Gandalf's the best one. Okay, I'm just waiting a sec so we don't run into Delmo again. I think our deck's very well positioned against that deck, so we come up the board, make tokens, they have very little interaction. The bat does beat down, which is nice. Gives us some value plays. I like the Joe deck was fun. We'll probably run it back later again. I think we might try like Abzan Legends and then probably blue-white flash. Seems good. We can run that. We can run probably still want to try maybe another dedicated deck. Sorry. Okay. Not Delmo. Only Delmo. All right, it's goblins versus it's the grudge match. So, not the fastest start, but still pretty good. I also want to try goblins. This card's really good in the set. So we're going to set an end step trigger. We're going to discard this. I'm going to go greater. This way I get the token. They usually don't play many legendaries. Like the Yorion decks, they play Snapcaster Mage, but it's not really going to do anything for you. I don't think like in Eternal formats you necessarily want it. Honestly, like Kalim's probably just better than it. Not worth taking the damage here. So I can go brushstroke, but I think I want to start with this. So here, let's basically a free point of damage because now I get a token and I get the Maskwood. And then this comes in. Always finding Bat is so good. I think we just do this. We have the burn spell in hand. I think that's fine. So I can do this. This gets me Blood Artist. I can loot away the blood. That gives me the token. The token can block. It gets a couple extra points of damage on board. Because we're just getting to the point that there's so much like incidental damage, and I don't think he has... Double strike. Probably just take this damage. Because it's next turn cycle I just get them with the second bat. Okay, this deck's like very good. I don't know if it's just because we're playing against... What am I getting for dinner? Okay, I'm getting sushi. It's a mystery bag. I just handed my phone to my wife and said order. Could have been anything. Please no more Delmo. Yeah, this is the time we just win with like 3 or 4 lines. Alright, I'm just gonna try pinging Delmo in the Discord. It was a mix today between pizza and sushi. The Thai, whenever it gets delivered to us, they pack it so tight that it just kind of gets like dried out. Like I could really go for a nice bowl of like pho or ramen, but I prefer eating that in the restaurant. Alright, please no. No more against Delmo. I... Oh, I love poke. If I could eat poke every day, I would. Like fresh poke. Field of Ruin. I think we lost this one. No anvil's bad. I think we have to go lesser here. Need to find a removal spell for Ruvenald. I think we take the damage one more turn because they have access to... Yikes! Scary draw. Probably dead. Yeah, we definitely dead. Find me a removal spell, a Deadly Dispute. Voldarian's not that. I've never had that. I think I've had both on their own. Let's get rid of the land here. I think we are very dead. We need a Blood Artist to stick. Alright, grudge match almost done. They're gonna find like so many Ruvenalds now. It's like salty-ish meat. Let him pop off once. We got him a few times. I don't think there is much we can do here. Anvil a little too late. I guess... Yeah. Let him know we didn't have it. The thing is, like, we almost... Maybe it was right just playing the second bat. I don't know if I could have killed him. Came kind of close. We need a Blood Artist or something. I mean, like, we didn't really do anything that game, and we still got him to 7. Which is kind of impressive. Like, it took this crazy draw. If they didn't draw this, we would have been able to hit them. Usually in Historic, or you'll see it, but in Alchemy, it's mono red. You just play Influx Array and a bunch of the cheap goblins and kind of go. In Historic, you have Rakdos for some of the like Modern Horizon ones. So I think, honestly, like Fable's been kind of useless. I don't think we want Fable in this build. Nyx. Nyx. There's not enough copy. Treasure. Could do Gold Hound. It lets us ramp as well. Put a stash counter. There's this. We could try that. Just make a bunch of tokens. Alright. We gonna get a break? Not Delmo. Hey! We did it. We did it, fam. So, leading with this, since we can do that next turn. Let's lead with this, because I'd rather... They might be on Orcish Dorkish. Yep. Just fine, because I can Ob next turn. And then Ob minus. On the Orcish here. Kind of cool.
I'm not afraid of any of you.
So I actually have to do this now because they could respond and ping my Ob.
Or carnage. Tribute is owed.
Question, do we want to... Probably just do this. So they can flash an Orcish again.
Job for you.
They can take out the Ob.
Oh, you'll suffer for that.
I mean, they are spending a lot of resources here to deal with Ob. And like, that's not even my main game plan. And like here, I can basically trade with the 2 Orcish if I want. If they want to reset, then it makes it so I can... So, deal 1 to you, create a treasure. We get some value out of it.
Defy me, and you'll lose everything.
I think we just do this. Crucius has more value.
Don't think you're some big hero.
Tasha's scary.
Perfect. I've got some experimental spells that need a test sub. Don't try anything cheeky now.
So this gets me Blood Artist potentially. Another Crucius isn't bad. I can ob this Crucius, play a second Crucius.
Keep your distance, mortals.
Tasha's gonna ult on me though. Mind you, my creatures aren't like great. So they're not gonna get like huge value. Keep Orchidork back. I think we just go up here.
Streets will run.
Okay, we have proliferate effects.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Vesuvian diplomacy. Interesting.
Tribute is owed.
Okay, we have Bowmaster come down, gets a ping. I mean, we could just keep like targeting. They can Tasha ult, but we can keep going obs up. Kind of glad we brought obs against this like more control-y version of the deck. What do you get? Okay, well that's a pretty good hit.
I'll give them back when I win.
Probably let Ob die now. Seems a little silly, just free value.
Next time, I'll cut you down.
Okay, so Voltage can take Tasha off the battlefield. Do I care about Tasha? Probably.
You got lucky, that's all.
Let's make a devil here.
You work for me now, runt.
I think we have to do it with Blood Artist here. Like, that's the way we win this game. They might decide to send 2 into Ob. Just fine. Ob soaks up a bunch of damage. They discard here. We're getting beaten by my own effect. I think here I have to go Blood Tithe Harvester. Maybe should have attacked into there. Kind of forces a trade-off. Could see Orcish come down. I want to keep these blood tokens for next turn so I can use Blood Tithe to take out the Mirkwood Bat. And start gaining some life that way. Because I'm taking 2 more damage. Best draw would be another Sanguine. Deadly Dispute's nice. Okay, kill you. They get the drain, they get the drain. So I'm going to pass through this phase. No attacks. So I think... I have to do this. Then we do this. Go greater. The reason being is I died to them making a treasure otherwise. And like this, then at least I could stay alive. I don't know. Not why you're playing that, but cool. Let's see what we get here. There's a life. Hey, voltage. So we would do sacrifice here. That gets the damage there. You need to block here, but we at least get some added points. This dies, they drain another. Getting close. Getting close. Ah, the problem. We're 1 card short. Okay. So I think we've done as much as we can. They can't kill anything. Because then they die. If I get to my upkeep, then... So they can't attack me. They can't kill my stuff. They need life gain, which I don't think they have. No discard. Dead anyway. Alright. Got him. Get him, got him good. Alright, that worked out pretty well. That list is pretty sweet. So we'll probably do... We'll build Abzan Legends. And then we'll eat dinner and then come back and we'll do some Abzan and then go from there. So a couple of those. Want one Gandalf. Gandalf in there. This ring Tempsy is kind of cool too. But we probably want the legendary pile. You can play one of you. Sorin on the top end's pretty strong. This card's really good. The Delighted Halfling. So we can play a couple of these, because they combo. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Legolas, so we don't really want target effects. What's a Shire do? Problem is, like, they're just like bad black cards. So whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, lose 1 life. Beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, create a 1/1. It's not terrible, but like we don't necessarily have creatures to throw away. Our creatures share a lot of the same types, so that's not the best. Okay, Frodo. So we have the ring tempts you kind of sub theme here. So we can go for the ring tempts you legendaries. We can do that. Another target creature gains indestructible on the turn, put 1 counter lifelink on that creature and 1. We can do that. Just play kind of like the legendary pile. Just play like all the new ones. Seems kind of cool. We can do that, do that. Whenever equipped creature attacks, it's a legendary. Equip the halfling, it gets value. So we can do indestructible, but that seems kind of bad, all things. This can help us with our mana base, because you can add 2 mana of any color combination, spend this to only cast legendary spells. So outside of like the early turns, it's not too bad. Like the only thing we can't cast is these 2 early. So maybe play a couple of those. So then we go legendary. So we can play Planeswalkers as well. We want Skrells, I think. Skrells are nice for protection. Maybe Elishnorn. We don't really have enter the battlefield style effects. Oh, we should play a couple of Gonjos. There's Vran we can do. Probably some Sheoldred. Play Vraska. At this point, I'm just kind of clicking stuff. See what's cool. Because you can flash in some of those. With the green stuff. The Seiju, we want Takanuma. And then just probably copies of Mondrak. Or not Mondrak, what's its name? Ratadrabic. We can play Ratadrabic. Where are you, Ratadrabic? Play some of these. Yeah, I'll fix up the mana base in a sec. To play a couple of these. Couple of these. Gains me some life. Probably want like another 2-drop. Glissa's also pretty solid. Could Slimefoot. Probably want like a 1 or 2-drop legendary. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Seems pretty decent. Play like one of you. And then maybe target creature in your graveyard perpetually becomes an artifact. You may cast this card this turn. I don't know. That seems cool. Let's try it out. Now we need Plaza. What's our mana distribution? Mostly white, black, green. I need white on curve, and I need green on curve. So we don't have Abzan fast lines. So probably a couple caves, couple sanctums. Honestly, it's probably worth crafting all. Then do Razor Verge. Couple brush lands. Probably good. Like, I want to be able to cast my 1-drop with green. So maybe we want more brush lands than like caves. Let's do a split like that. I wonder how good those would be. Been a while since I've actually like played with those. We're gonna do some ring tempting. Get the cool art. Just checking how soon my food's coming. Still not here. We'll get going on this one. Play some legendary pile. Free. You can't just make everything open poker piles. Alright. I mean, this is the only time I could spend on... I'm never going to do this in, like, actual client. Get the real good Baseju art. Okay. Abzan Legends. Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be playing some more of the early access event thanks to Wizards for the Lord of the Rings collab set. We get to play the new cards a couple days earlier, and we're trying out a bunch of new cards today. So the queue is best of one alchemy as well as draft. So we're playing some alchemy today, and we're going to try to do some direct challenges later in play brawl or some of the other formats. So today we are going to be trying out a Abzan Legends list. So the deck got another ramp card in Delighted Halfling. So a 1 mana 1/2 that you can add a mana of any color that casts a legendary spell, and that spell cannot be countered. So helps us ramp up ahead. So we're playing a legend pile, and we got like the Ring Contempt you and a whole bunch of cool Lord of the Rings. So Frodo, Sorin's Bane, 1 mana 1/2 that can become a kind of evolved creature. So you could go 2 mana to become a 2/3 lifelinker, and then 3 mana that if you've been tempted by the ring 4 more times and it deals combat damage, you win the game. You get tempted by the ring in a number of different ways, but it's basically what you see on the screen here. It's kind of like a dungeon. Each time you get tempted, you get to tag a creature, and then you go through the modes, you get those added abilities. So we have Frodo Baggins. So whenever another legendary creature enters the battlefield under control, the ring tempts you, and as long as Frodo is the ring bearer, then it has to be blocked. You have Elias Accord, just a way to get some life. Jaheira as a way to destroy artifacts and enchantments. Rizug as a way to cast stuff from our graveyard. We have Gollum, Patient Plotter. When it leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. You can sacrifice another creature. You could return Gollum to your hand, so it works nice with the copies you can get from Rizug. We have the new legendary Anthem, Flowering of the White Tree. That gives all our legendaries +2/1 and ward. We have Smeagol, Helpful Guide. Beginning and end step, if creature died this turn, the ring tempts you. And whenever the ring tempts us, we get to reveal cards from their opponent's library until we reveal a land. We put the land onto the battlefield and the rest in the opponent's graveyard. We have Aragon, Company Leader. So whenever the ring tempts you, you choose a creature other than Aragon. Gets a counter of your choice, a whole bunch of different things. Whenever one or more counters are put on Aragon, put one of each of these counters on another target creature. We have Arwen, Aragon. I say Aragon, I keep mixing it up. Enters the battlefield with an indestructible counter. You can remove a counter, put indestructible on another creature. It gets counters and lifelink and a whole bunch of jazz. Elish Norn, Shieldred, Ratadrabik to make copies that are non-legendary. We have Sorin, the Necromancer, that lets us reanimate stuff from our graveyard. We have Gandalf the White that lets us flash in our legendaries and get double ETBs. We have Vraska for some card advantage and proliferate style effects with all our different counters. Then we have Aragorn and Arwen. So we got the whole wedding crew in here. Enters battlefield or attacks, put counters on our stuff, and gain life. The other card we're going to try out here is the Great Hall, kind of a budget plaza of heroes that can help filter our lands. So we'll give this a go, see how it plays out, and take it from there. It's been a good mix of stuff we've been playing. We did have a set where I just kept running into Delmo. We played like 4 matches in a row. but trying it out, seeing how it plays. We've done enough of different deck builds, trying to see out things, and having fun. We will try to do historic. There's like the infinite combo that I want to try out with that I kind of highlighted in the video on my channel. For those of you who are kind of seeing this set for the first time, it is going to be legal in Commander, EDH, Modern, and then it'll be legal in Alchemy and Historic on Arena. It is not Standard legal, it's not Pioneer legal, it's not Explorer legal. So the queue does take a little bit of time. Sometimes it's about the time that like the European folks might be logging off later at night, or going, and some of the North American folks, myself included, will likely be going for dinner fairly shortly. My food should be arriving in 20 odd minutes. Hopefully get some then. Alrighty, who are we playing? Playing red. That looks fine. I'm gonna lead on the Sanctum here. Because then I could go, I don't have to take any pain. So even if stuff dies, this can bring stuff back, which is nice. Okay, so the ring tempts you. So getting some damage. We got Indestructible here. We got Death Touch. Things entering the battlefield is good. It could be interesting there. You get, I think Archmage Charm targets player, which is nice. So opponent is setting up to be tempted. We can set up our Skrelv here. We have Indestructible. Things are gaining us life if our opponent kills us stuff. Opponent is so tempted by the ring. There's also a lot more card draw in Historic, like Incidental. Ooh, Inquisitor Captain's card I forgot. So we can attack in, depending what they get here. They kind of need to answer Skrelv. Okay, so it's just Nazgul. Yeah, Sign in Blood already sees some play in like the Explorer mono black. So, kind of cool here. I can protect my thing. I can bring back Iliasakor. This having Menace can be alright, because we can give it protection next turn. This can recast it if we want. They need to be mindful of their life total. So I'm going to wait till next turn, because then I can give it Indestructible, and then I can just keep attacking in. Exile target creature, return to the battlefield under your control. The ring tempts you. This is a cast trigger. You don't get the value. They're drawing cards. They are trying to find the answer. Attack me. Attack me, bro. You got Frodo. So make it pro-white. So my shields are kind of down, but I have the indestructible. Now I get Frodo down. And we're just kind of picking at them. Little by little. They are so tempted by this ring. These Nazzuls get big fairly quick. But like if they don't have another black creature... They're also just getting to the point where any creature dying... We got none of our tempting stuff. Look at this. So I could name white, could just attack in. So we can't really get the value yet. We can go from there. Could name black. Let's do this. Like, none of my stuff's dying. Which is the annoying part. So get rid of Smeargle. What do they have, like Deadly Dispute? Nasty End could be something good in this deck because it draws you, it's like Deadly Dispute, but it draws you 3. We might just Alpha Strike in next turn. We'll see. Because they're kind of stuck. We just need like anything that gives us a little bit of reach. They can't really afford to draw. Vraska would probably be best. Vraska can turn this Nazgul into treasure. think we just start attacking with stuff. I need stuff to die. Because anything that dies from Ilias Sakor, and then I can recast stuff from my graveyard, so I get added value. This being indestructible is nice. Halfling comes in, gets a point of damage. This dies, they're dead. You're also dead. You're still dead. Yeah, I just want to keep up protection because if they killed it in response, I want to be able to keep, because this is another creature. So I wanted to keep that protected. We were basically at the point where we had enough redundancy in the way we approached it. Give me one. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure someone didn't snag my food when it got dropped off. So this will be like the last game with this deck. Take a break, eat some dinner, and I'll be back a little later. We'll try out some of the new stuff, see how it plays out. Hand's probably fine. We do need another land, but we can give it a shot. I would love to have the halfling on one. Naya Legends is probably actually really good with this. And very slow. Guess we do this. And then I could go Radadrabic. The extra mana helps. They wouldn't have been able to cast Pippin otherwise. So they could have Urtai. But I think we just do this. Because I want to bait out the Urtai. This also just gives me a blocker. Do they have Urtai or are they just stuck on mana? Because then I could go Radadrabic with protection and ward. And then the Smeagol plays nicely. We can give Radadrabic Indestructible. Cabaret Charm. Weird. Enters tab, sacrifice, add X combination, spin the graveyard, draw a card. Don't know what they're doing. They're just like, go wide. So we'll go Rat Boy here. And then next turn, what I can do is I can do Smeagol. So I can move the counter onto Ratadrabic to get the lifelink. Then I can play Smeagol. I can attack with Arwen and then get another. Are they Aragon Lucky Charms? Maybe. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, we're going to try that after. Omnath, Aragon, and a bunch of the charms for value. Halfling. They don't really have great attacks here, which is good for us. Then the following turn, I can Gandalf. So now I can attack in with both of these. Then Smeagol gets the trigger. I gain a bunch of life. I can also then just start getting Vraska going, and I can proliferate Indestructible. So this dies. This comes back. This says Indestructible. The ring tempts us. So we're going to make Ratadrabic the ring bearer. We milled Sorin of the Many. We get their land. So I can go Vraska next turn. And then just start proliferating. I can flash in Gandalf. Get them that way there. Okay, so we see Aragon here. So they did have Cabaretti. Alright, so another Skrelv. So we'll go Vraska. The smart move is to hit this, but I kind of want to see what they're doing. So we attack with these. Both have Indestructible. I guess that gives them protection from creatures. So we don't gain the life. So I'm gonna Skrelv How doesn't this have indestructible? Is it just... Ah, no! Boo! Boo! That's the end of turn. Ah. End of turn. Read your cards, Joe. Ooh, that's so bad. I messed that up. So they can attack in. I have indestructible on a bunch of things. So we're gonna make this... I also have Gandalf the White. So they can... make this indestructible. I guess that's only till end of turn. But now I get the counters. So maybe we just keep proliferating here. Draw cards, kind of threaten. So I know I have, but I want a creature to die this turn. So we got to draw, discard. It's probably still wrong. I kind of punted this game. The correct line was to kill that. Interesting. So they're taking that. Creature died. Ring tempts us. You can be the ring bearer. Yeah, so it's Omnath Lucky Charms. So I have Gandalf the White, which can surprise block something, hopefully. And then I could put an indestructible counter on it, but really just give it lifelink and kind of give it that way. I messed that up with Ratadrabic. So they get to mass an arc here. Let's give it indestructible till end of turn. Give it lifelink. And then I can block. And block here. So they can give protection from creatures, but then they get tapped out. So they should have done that pre-combat. So I gain a bunch of life. I get to proliferate some more. Pippin 2, Electric Boogaloo. So So Smeagol's my ring bearer. Let's draw a card here, proliferate across the board. So get their orc army going. So it's got 2 indestructible counters. You got lifelink indestructible. So we're going to draw discard here. Got another Aragon, which is nice. I can flash that in on my opponent's end step. Okay, they've seen enough. We got him. A lot of cool synergies there. Like you put the counters, give it a lot of indestructible, give lifelink, a whole bunch of jazz like that. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go eat some dinner because I am hungry. I've been at this for almost 4 hours now. Get some of these uploaded in the meantime to YouTube. And we'll be back later tonight for some more content. Thanks everyone for hanging out thus far. Have a good one.